Welcome to My Career Mentor with Sue. Today we'll be talking about rebranding yourself for the job market post-COVID-19. Yes, there is going to be a steep rise in the job market after we have these COVID-19 issues sorted out. I know right now you're facing job losses or income cuts. You're not very certain about the future in your employment or in your company or in your business. But there is hope. I believe that post-COVID-19, we're going to see a steep rise in jobs, applications for jobs, companies asking for people to work for them. And how do you prepare yourself for this job market that is about to come? What can you be able to do as you sit back away from your job and be able to reposition yourself for this market that is about to come? So with us is Robert Burale, the coach, the CEO of the RB company, who's going to talk to us about how we rebrand ourselves for the post-COVID-19 market. Welcome to my career mentor. Today we'll be speaking to the coach, Robert Burale. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Sue. It's an honor to be here on your platform.
Okay, you're welcome. So what does the job market look like right now during the COVID-19 period?
Well, right now, things are not as rosy. To be honest with you, there's a lot of job losses. There's a lot of salary cuts because, of course, of the financial situations due to this pandemic that was not expected. So it's almost got everybody flat-footed. And you see, the thing is that it's everybody, not a particular industry per se. Every industry has been affected, whether it's banking, whether it's church, entertainment industry, the speaking circuit, every industry is affected. So the job market looks a bit bleak, but I'm not saying it will remain bleak. It is just that we were caught flat-footed and now we have been thrown into the deep end and we need to try to swim. And those who cannot swim, we need to throw life jackets to them. You understand? Yeah. So we need to move with what is happening. But the truth of the matter, whether we want to accept it or not, the job market, things are not as good. Either somebody has lost their job or they've taken a major salary cut, or they're about to take a major salary cut. And if they haven't, there's what we call the uncertainty. What next? So it's even making people not plan long-term, because now you start building a house. How sure you still have the monthly income that will cushion you in some of these things, you know? Education has been affected. So yes, it does not look very good, but it does not mean it will remain like that. Based on which eyes we look at this situation. Are we going just to cower and go down and say, you know what, let's wait for this thing to be over? COVID may be here to stay forever. Who knows? Yeah. So we just need to adjust with what is happening in the world right now.
Okay, I really like that this thing is not going to stay forever with us. And so are we going to sit back and just wait for something to happen? Also, what should people be doing now? Maybe you've gone through an income cut, maybe you've gone through a job loss, and or maybe you're about to get one. You're not even sure, because as many of us sit here, we're not sure about our job security. So what should people do to rebrand themselves for the next step in post-COVID?
Number one is adjustment. There has to be a lifestyle adjustment. Now, for us parents, you're a parent, I'm a parent. Now, it's easier when the kids are in school, in boarding. Now, the budget at home has gone higher as well, because now the kids are here. So adjustments must be done. We have to accept things are not as they used to be probably a year ago or before December last year when COVID was first discovered. So adjustments, and then now start looking at where the world is going. Now, if you think about it, when you go on media, what are you seeing? You are seeing people who, on mainstream TV, mainstream radio, are now doing things online, because now that is where the world is going, digital. So whatever you do, you ask yourself, how will I fit in to the digital space? You go to now brand your business with digital in mind. Even as a farmer, how will I use the digital space? You know, many people think that the digital space is for presenters, TV hosts, and people who can talk. No, you can actually promote your business online. So you got to understand there's digital agriculture. You understand? Now, because we had digital banking. In fact, it's like the bank knew that this is where we are heading. Now people are avoiding to handle paper money, so it's digital. So how are you going to brand yourself or your business to fit into the digital space? Because now everybody is in the digital space. Do you know there's nothing like getting breaking news on TV anymore? Before you go to the mainstream TV, we already have it on our phones. Now go anywhere, you'll see 90% of people holding their phone and they're flicking. No one is holding their phone for 2 hours nonstop. It's finger. So it's like there's an overload of information. So in there, you're supposed to brand yourself to fit in there, and your language must change to fit into the people, the end user in the digital space. Other people now may go into their own businesses because now we have realized, or maybe somebody said, oh, once I retire, I may start a business. Well, with the way things are going, you may not lose your job because of retirement. Because of such pandemics, people have lost their job. So this is the time, Sue, for people to also now think of what they can do out there. But whatever you do, and anybody who's listening to us today, whatever you do, you can now not ignore the digital space. Even pastors who used to say Facebook is demonic now cannot ignore preaching on Facebook. You understand? So now, whether we like it or not, after COVID, in fact, even if we wake up and we are told COVID is no more, I kid you not, we have now moved permanently to the digital era. Whoever was left behind now has to jump into the bus. Whoever does not jump into the bus will be obsolete in a couple of months or a year or two. So we got to get to that place. How are you branding yourself? How is your messaging for your business or your personal, whatever you want to do? How is your messaging? Because people, end users in the digital space are very impatient. You waste too much time saying hi to people for 5 minutes. They've switched on to somebody else, and we didn't hear what you had to provide for us. And somebody who goes quickly to the message, their product is advertised. So you got to know that. You got to understand your messaging. You have to fix your business, or it has to be in line with the digital space, because that's where we are heading. And you have to know now there is competition. There's voluntary watching, meaning somebody can walk out anytime they want, and move to the next person who is online. So your messaging must be clear, but not just clear. Your messaging must be quick, punchy, go for the kill, get the end user, produce, give your products. Online, I've seen people posting chicken and pawpaws and potatoes, and now they're saying, listen, we are going to deliver. Now watch this. You just don't think about digital space. You got to think how to get your products to the end user, because people don't want to meet people. No one wants to leave their house unless absolutely necessary. So this is where I buy fish from a gentleman called Okwiri, but he's my friend, yes, but I don't have to go to where he is to pick the fish. He has gone into partnership with some people who deliver. You give your order online, you pay online. It tells you tomorrow by 12, your fish will be in your house. And trust me, by 11:45,
he'll be there.
The fish is in my house.
Wow.
And what did he do? Let me tell you what he told me. It's called Bob Okwiri. He said to me, don't worry. Before I even asked, he says, the people who deliver have met the highest possible standards of health. So already I said, this is the guy. And then I'll speak to other people. So if you serve customer number one well, customer number one or client number one will speak to 50 other people. Because now he has understood the digital space. Pay digital, order digital, your stuff will be delivered.
But I have a question for the person who's not really into business, okay? This is a person who has been in a government office, who has been sitting in that government office for the last 10 years, who has been in a job for the last 20 years, has never moved beyond this space. Now, how do they rebrand themselves away from business? They just want to get back to a job. What do they do?
First and foremost is rebrand your mind. Rebrand your mind to accept that you may not get the top dollar even if you get another job. Readjust your mind to accept things have changed for now, until the financial situation all over the world economically gets better. And it takes time because the financial markets have been hit hard. There is economic disability in many countries. I mean, even the big boys, the first world countries are suffering. What about the developing countries? We have also been hit hard. So it's to make some adjustments. Now, this is the time. You may have been living in a 6-bedroom house and you had 3 extra bedrooms. Now, we are now not in a stage of luxury. You understand? We are now cutting our cloth properly. So scale down. It doesn't mean you are useless. And nobody will laugh at you, because anybody who is genuine and honest, they must scale down. Then when you go for an interview, for example, if you have lost your job, what they will pick, they will wonder, has this person adjusted mentally? Have they adjusted mentally? Because they pick these things. I sit in a panel of some guys, and let me not say which company. And my work is to look at the nonverbal communication and listen to the tonation and the mood behind what they're saying. So we'll pick those things. Is this person raring to go, or are they just coming because of depression? They seem to be stressed. The moment somebody sees you're looking for a job because you're stressed, they know you're just looking for a stopgap, and they may not get the optimum from you. So just go there with a new zeal. I'm raring to go. We have suffered a hit, but you know what? We are rising again. You'll be attractive to any potential employer.
Okay, very good. It's very interesting you're saying that we need to scale down, because I'm just reading here, the Daily Nation the other day did a survey report for the COVID-19 CEMA Impact Tracker, and they say that entertainment, including cinemas, theaters, events, concerts, and have seen a drop of up to 86% in terms of a drop, and supermarkets are seeing a rise in buying of foodstuffs mainly. So luxury, all this entertainment is actually down completely, and so I'm a trend where people are realizing this and sort of adjusting their lifestyles, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's funny you say about the supermarkets, and I just thought very quickly, if, for example, I lived in an estate and I look at, this is not the time people are buying clothes and perfumes and shoes. No, we're buying the essentials because the kids must eat, we must survive. So I'm thinking, even as you're speaking, if I lived in an estate, what I would do is go to the supermarket, buy about even 100 loaves of bread or 50 loaves of bread, and tell the estate people, listen, you don't have to go anywhere. I will deliver the bread to you, and just pay something above the cost, just for my transport, that I went and came back. When you give people convenience, they will come to you. So somebody should think that. Somebody should think buying tissues, you understand what I'm saying? And delivering to the people in the estate. You are actually bridging the gap. It's convenience, and if you give me convenience, Sue, I will pay for that convenience. Anything that will stop me from going to crowded places, if you can give me a solution to that, bring it on, baby.
That's true. That's working for a lot of people. And I'm just looking at, the person has gotten back. You've talked about watching a person's non-verbal communication behavior. So what's the demeanor in a person that these companies are looking for, just for those people who are preparing to get back into the market? What is the demeanor? Non-verbal communication, when you enter there, just don't go with your head dropped, because you can tell if somebody's face has dropped, Just go there and say, okay, fine, what is your name? My name is Robert Burale, and I am happy to be here. Not overexcited, but also don't show you are beaten. I know this thing has hit very many of us, not all of us. But when you go there, so good morning, and you say, good morning, what is your name? My name is Robert Burale. It is good to be here. And then look at all the interviews, eyeball to eyeball. And it's okay, fine. Why are you looking for a job? Why you? Why should we employ you? He says, first and foremost, COVID has hit us. I lost my job, but I think I still have a lot to offer. But some people will go and say, my kids are dying hungry. Oh, my kids are doing this. My wife will leave me if I don't get a job. You will not be, because it means then you are coming there with the wrong attitude. You understand? But when you say, I believe I have a lot to offer, it means then you will prove to these people
that you have what it is to offer.
Yes.
That means you will always give your best, your employer will be happy, and your bank manager will be happy at the end of the month. And then, when they ask you, fine, what we may not be able to pay you what you have been earning for the last 10 years. You tell them you do understand. Also make them know that you understand what is happening in the world. And that does not mean you just take whatever they give you, argue it out, because even when we interview people, we want to see how people understand who they are and appreciate themselves. Don't be unreasonable in what you're asking for, but don't also allow them to just take you to the bottom pit because you're desperate. You understand? So you just tell them, listen, I know things are tough, but let's see how it goes. And I do believe once you see what I'm capable of, and in line also with my academic qualifications, as times get better, and you tell them, and they will get better, we can again then renegotiate and look at how we can get these sparks upwards. Then they'll be like, this one wants to grow with us. So anybody who's about to go for a job interview, don't go there crying. Go there raring to go and say, we will grow together, we will beat this.
Okay. Now, I'm thinking about the person who has not lost their job yet. Okay. And there is an imminent, job income cut or unpaid leave. What do you think an employer, how do they need to rebrand themselves also within that particular organization or company? Because I know employers, when they're sort of now letting people go, they'll look at your characteristics, at some people. Who are those people who are likely to leave, and how can a person try to rebrand themselves, even within the company, to be able to be the one that remains when everyone else is leaving?
Number one, they look at the people who had a lot of warning letters due to bad behavior, coming late to work. Those are the first ones they will get rid of. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? People who would not go over and above their JD. You know what people don't understand? It doesn't make you weak when you put in an extra hour. Even if it, let us say, is 8 to 4, it doesn't make you weak to go until 5 or 5:30 once in a while. Some people leave at 3:59, they're already holding the handbag or their car keys because they want to go have a beer with their friends. So it means if you have 2 hours of leisure, once in a while, you can add an hour and a half, or even 2 hours at your workplace. Now, those are the things that will count now. You may have done them 2 years ago, but that's what the employer is looking at now. So those will be the first people to go, to be honest. Another thing, and people need to understand, when you're employed, don't be too comfortable. Keep on bettering yourself academically. Get these diplomas, get these higher national diplomas, just get these courses, because now all those come, when they're put together, then the employer looks at you as somebody who they need to keep. Now, if you have been employed for 10 years, and you have not even added something, a feather to your hat, what does that tell your employer? You understand? Tells your employer this one is not highly ambitious as a person. You get me? This one is not into personal or self-development. So it's easy to let such a person go. Unfortunately, also, employers look at age. Age. If somebody is nearing the retirement age, then they're like, okay, you know what, we may have to let you go. But for somebody who is reaching the retirement age, all right, is willing, always, when you're much older than the other people, be there as a figure to train them, to make them get better. You understand what I'm saying? So they'll be like, let's not let this one go. If we employ other younger people, we'll need this one to help us, these young people grow. You have to be clever.
Okay. So one of the things that people may do now, I'm seeing a lot of online courses, even offered by places like Harvard. And there are online courses that are free, and people can get into them and just rebrand themselves. That's another way that you can be able to do that. Now, how does one cope with the idea that they may not find employment again, especially, as you say, due to age factors, educational background, or as companies begin to rehire? You might show up and they're like, no, I think you should have started your own business, a guy, So what do they do? I know you've been talking about business, but what else can they do?
If you don't get employment, you have to go into business. There is something you can do. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're not in employment, how will you survive?
Mm-hmm.
I believe, even as the Bible says, what do you have in your hands? Somebody can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is what will stretch some people to discover what they can do and the gifts they have, that they will make sure out of the gifting, passionately get profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. So what is your final word of advice, therefore, as people begin to rebrand themselves? Are there any other forms of advice you'd like to give as we close?
My advice to people, Sue, is that know your strengths, know your limitations, do a SWOT analysis, be honest with yourself, amplify your strengths, dilute your weaknesses, but position yourself. What do I mean? The world has now gone digital. Even for me as a trainer, I used to train people going there physically. Now all my training is online. Position yourself. If you don't position yourself, you'll be left out. Jump into the bus and move on with where the world is going into.
All right. Thank you so much. As you well know, I'm a teacher right now, and look at me. I'm rebranding myself. I used to be once in the media, and so
Absolutely.
I'm trying a few skills right now to be able to move on beyond just teaching and being out of school for a while. So thank you so much, RB, for talking to us.
Thank you,
it was a pleasure. And I'm sure this message will go to so many people, and it will help them to be able to rebrand themselves post-COVID job market. Thank you. Asante.
Thank you so much. God bless.
All right. Thank you.